This is what this car is made to do. Hi guys, welcome to Petrolhead London. Back in the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio. I'm sounding really happy about this because I A, have had quite a lot of coffee, and B, it's early in the morning and I am on my way down again. I've organised a drive with Roadster app. This is not sponsored, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Down to Caffeine and Machine, down near Stratford-on-Avon. Today is also MotoGP, so there are a lot of bikes out and about today. MotoGP at Silverstone. And one of the things you guys keep asking for is, are you going to show us a blooming video of you driving this car? Okay, I am, and I'm not going to do one just on the motorway. So, I'm going to document a bit of our trip down here because it's a really cool place to go to, Caffeine and Machine, if you haven't been. Just want to stand around, you know, scratching your ass, talking about cars. Perfect. Which is what I'm doing with a group of guys who I'm going down with. And in fact, there's a really old 911 who's gone, which is awesome, which I will show you when we get there. And what I want to do is show you a bit about what this car's actually like. So this is kind of a first drive. I know it's not my first drive. The car's just shy of 800 miles. Might even hit the 1,000 today. So I want to kind of just take you around some of the country roads with it. We'll get some shots of it, what it's like actually to drive. So far, I've been honestly thoroughly impressed. It is just every bit the driver's car. And you know that ridiculous statement. I think Clarkson said that, you know, you're never a proper car driver or owner until you've owned an Alfa. This car helps fulfill that dream. It's just so much fun. I just love being out in it, and the pinpoint steering, the responsiveness of the engine is just phenomenal. I just love the whole experience. You know, it might not be the plushest car inside, but Alfa are all about the driver. And I mean, obviously I'm going to support my own decision to buy this car because I put all my own money in it, but I do just love this car. I'm so pleased with my decision. I think way more than I was, say, a C63 or something like that. Anyway, onwards, let's get to Caffeine and Machine. You want to see me drive this thing? I'm going to show you some driving. Okay. Oh man. You hit that 3,500 revs and the exhaust note comes alive in dynamic mode, and it revs so high, this car, it really does. Like, obviously I'm making it rev really high, but it just kind of like wants to play at that kind of like 4, 5, 6,000 RPM. Just taking it easy as we get through this village, and then we'll get back out onto the fun roads. But like a lot of cars, you would feel like at that top end near the rev limiter, it would be like screaming for you to change gear, and this car just isn't. It's just saying, yes, this is where I want to be. This is what I was designed to do. Now, it does bugger all good for your fuel efficiency here, but yeah, apparently you're supposed to be able to get 30 miles per gallon. I've not ever seen that out of this car yet, but we will see. And I've spoken to other people who have them, but I've chosen to film just as we've got into the slow bit. But I just want to hopefully show you guys a bit around what this car is like to drive on these roads, and this is what it's made for. The road holding is sublime. I probably can't get that across while I'm actually driving, because like, you accelerate, you can really feel the edge of the limits. That's one thing I love about this car, is it really lets you know where it's at. I mean, the kick in the backside as it accelerates is just unbelievable. This engine is unreal. It really is. The pickup on it's fantastic. This 7-speed ZF gearbox Yeah, there's a little bit of lag every now and then, but honestly, not that enough for you to complain about. Like, really not enough. The road holding, the acceleration. Oh, I love this car. I really do. As I said, it's that point where you're accelerating and pushing hard round a tight bend. You can feel it digging down and hunkering into those corners. Oh, lovely E-Type just here. And that's like, it's just confidence inspiring. Let's hope not unwarrantedly so. And actually, I've got it in dynamic mode with the soft suspension on. It's a great combo. I might put it back into hard, but like, you almost don't need it. It's not like it's bouncing back off the full dynamic suspension. Full sunny day. Amazing views of the Cotswold borders. And these tyres, honestly, I mean, it's not just the car. The fact is, the 4 points of contact that you have with the road are those Pirelli Zero coursers. And so far, I've just been thoroughly impressed with them. I know I'm thoroughly impressed with everything, and it's all into a new toy, and it's great, but they're pretty amazing. Like, you know, on other cars, I definitely feel them like spinning up. And yeah, I've made them spin, and you know, I've felt the grip go a little bit in places, but you know where you're at. A little bit backing off the throttle or a bit of counter steer, and it puts you in the right place. Like, there's no, well, so far, no big surprises. It's a bit of a fast, twisty, and like, gripping. There's this nice thin steering wheel. The steering feedback is just amazing. There's tight turns in. Like, everyone talks about the pinpoint precision of the steering, and as you will see in my unreview review, it really is like, you have to drive one to understand it. Like, I've never felt steering like it. It really is just absolutely pinpoint. You can just go into a corner like this with confidence. And that exhaust note, that is one thing I need to look at, is, I don't want to go with too much confidence. There it is, right on the edge. I can feel it kicking around a bit. And the pickup is unreal. It's quite a revvy engine. Sorry, the valve. Sorry, distracted. Too much driving. Good fun. I know that's what you're here for. But the valve only kicks in at 3,500 revs in dynamic mode, and as a result, you don't get that braking on the corner, adverse camber. There's a mini JCW who's following up with me. He's on this trip. Just keep you up quite nicely. You don't get that note until you hit 3,500 revs, and that's a real shame, Alfa. There are things you can do. There are rumours that they are going to make the change to the software, which will mean that it will kick in dynamic or normal mode, or whatever it stands for. It ain't come yet. In the US they're talking about it. I'm not sure if it's actually come, and everyone's saying, why don't you just make a button and put it in the dash somewhere, or make it a setup in the system. But honestly, I don't think it's going to come. So there is a modification you can do to actually add a valve around it. Let's try and give the cyclist some room. So that might have to be on the list, to be honest, because it's a real shame. Like, the engine sounds great, but the exhaust though does sound good, and it's, I don't know, it's just nice feedback, isn't it, to know where you're at. It's just a real shame that it only kicks in there. You can have it on all the time, you have to go in dynamic. That's quite a scary place to be in a car like this with no traction. You just want to keep it kicked up in that high rev limit. Sure. paddles like fixed to the column, I must say I'm a fan, especially when you're doing slower manoeuvres. I used to always find it a pain where the steering wheel was like upside down. I'm like, is that the up or down paddle? You just don't really know. Whereas these, you're kind of, they're always obviously always in the same place. They're fixed to the column. That's why they're in the same place. Right, I know, we've covered that. I'll shut up. I'll drive. That's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. It's the kick in the backside you get from this, from the torque. That real sense that you're being ripped out of your, you know, chair backwards. It's just fantastic. It was built for roads like this, and I must say, driving around London, I feel like you're not really giving it justice. Whereas these roads, it's just like it's like an excited puppy. Awesome day driving these country roads. And this car, well, you know, I didn't think it was as low as it is. I did bottom out a little bit at one point. But the handling, I'm just going to put it back into dynamic, is amazing. This is everything that Alfa set out to do. You know, a real driver's car. He said piling into a corner a bit fast. It's just an event. That's what I love about it. It's fast. I mean, it is really fast. Although actually that GTI is with us is definitely giving me a run for my money. But the handling, these tyres, it twitches a bit, but it's just amazing fun. And the thing I love about it is you can then drop it onto a motorway and just cruise along. That steering, you just point it in and it goes, even in a turning like that. Look, this is a sharp corner. Probably a bit of a bad gear selection. You just feel, it's so confidence inspiring. That whole package of that really spot on steering, and I know people go on about it, and the brakes are pretty good as well. They've got that funny biting point at the beginning. I don't think you need the ceramics, not for this sort of day-to-day driving. It's like it's on rails. Now I think the interesting thing will be is like what these perform like in slightly less warm conditions. It's 30 degrees here, which is unheard of in this country, and they just, like, I can't even find where the end point, I mean, I don't want to if I can help it. It's just a joy to drive. Whoa. Doesn't quite soak up the lumps and bumps. I am in soft, which seems to be my preferred mode. Maybe it's not the right one. Try it in a harder suspension mode. It's that pull, the torque. I don't even know what gear I'm in because I'm using the automatic mode. So although I'm using the gears to kind of regulate regulate the speed a bit, and I like the fact that you can switch between it. It's probably not as good as things like in Sport Plus in the AMGs, but you know, it's pretty good. Single clutch, I think, on this. I'm only saying I think because I'm pretty sure it is, but we'll have the DCT. Beyond anything else, I'm gonna have to stop recording in a minute because it's really hot and I need to put the air conditioning on. But look guys, I hope this first drive, I know it's not actually my first drive, but gives you an idea of, everyone keeps saying stop taking bloody pictures and show us what it's like to drive. This is what it's like to drive. Smile inducing. The smiles per gallon on this car are epic, really are. I just can't wait to do more and more things with the car. And do you know the great thing about this car is you don't need to do a lot, sorry, too busy looking at the road, but you don't need to do a lot to this. Like, what else would you do to it? Like, it's just pretty damn good as it is. It doesn't need any performance tuning. Like, you can do a map on it, but it's 510 brake horsepower. 0 to 60, well, actually keep looking at mixed numbers, but somewhere between 3.6 and 3.8 seconds. It is a rapid car, and the handling is fantastic. I wouldn't want to lower it. I think the stance looks great. I wouldn't want to lower it. I think it would affect the performance. Like, it just works really well. There's nothing on this that you want to change. Good driving it, guys. Anyway, thank you for watching Petrolhead to London. Glad I managed to actually get you in a video where I can show you what it's like to drive. Please remember to subscribe for loads more content to come. Follow me on the Roadster, Instagram, all other social media. Take care, guys. Cheers.